Maria, when did nine ether beings surroundings turn into six ether in order to put them to sleep, and how was the change from nine to six ether done? Right, it's like nine ether is always available, and it's not like nine ether goes away. It's just like the sun, right? The sun is always shining, even though during what, like now, where people say the sun has set, but it doesn't set. That just goes back to that story of, as I was saying, Osiris and Seth, which became sunset, right? But the sun just goes into what we call a shadow, or the planet goes into what we call a shadow state. So I'm relaying that to say that when it goes into the period where people refer to it as night, people say night as if to say the sun has gone away or the sun has set, because of the way you've been taught that the sun's motion is it rises and then it sets, and it doesn't. It just deals with the way that the planet has been designed to have one side cooling off so that it doesn't overheat, and then it rotates, and the other side that is facing the sun gets the heat, and it has to constantly do that rotation where one side of the world is in what people call, we refer to as a shadow, because just like when you have something where you have the sun and then you have a shadow that blocks away the intensity of the sun, right? So in the same way, when we're talking about nine ether and six ether, we're dealing with that rotation of, let's say you have winter time and then you'll have what people call summer. Initially there were only two seasons, summer and winter. Eventually they became four when they added moving from winter into summer. In between that became spring, and the same way as moving from summer into winter, between that they termed autumn. So the fact that you're in winter doesn't mean the sun doesn't exist. It's just that certain beings are more conducive to that environment because we're all built by nature. And as sun people, children of the sun, or melanite children, we love the sun because the sun gives us more energy and we're more active during the summer times, and we kind of hibernate or go into sleep, and we're not as active in wintertime. Whereas you have other people, such as the Adamites, who love the temperatures when they're not so hot, because again, because of the recessiveness of their melanin or the lack of melanin, it's better for them to be in cooler environments. So what we're saying is that when you look at the motion, just the same way we look at the motions of the summer to winter, when you look at on a bigger scale, when you're looking at the sun traversing a bigger cycle, you have what we call an equinox, right, which is 24,000 years. But that takes a sun cycle, which is 6,000 years, a moon cycle, which is 6,000 years, another sun cycle, which is 6,000 years, and a moon cycle, 6,000 years. 6 times 4 gives you the 24,000 year cycle, and then it starts again. And even though we say 24,000, it's like 24,896 or something, but it's just rounded to 24,000, or some was rounded up, because you can round down or you can round up. Some will round it up to 25,000 years. And then when another cycle is complete, that will give you 49,000 and some odd, which is rounded up to 50,000 years, referred to as an epoch, whilst the 24,000 year cycle is referred to as an equinox. So what we're saying is that during the last 6,000 years, we've been in something known as the moon cycle. or people refer to it also as the silver cycle, or we were moving from the Piscean era into the age of Aquarius. And that 6,000 years ended in the year 2000. So going backwards from the year 2000 to 4000 BC or BCE was when we were under this moon cycle. And during that cycle, just as we would go to sleep or don't perform our best during winter, the moon cycle is where the six ether forces were prominent, and the spell of Leviathan was cast on people who went to sleep. And the spell basically made you forget who you are. It's called amnesia, right? And that's when the ghost spell, or the spell of ghost worship by way of these witches that cast this spell, right, from the Sirius star constellation. This is what we're talking about when we're talking about the moon cycle. So when you're asking that question, Maria, how was it done? It was done gradually, just as, you being stripped off of who you are. Like, you forgot your language, your culture. You don't remember how you did things because things were whitewashed, and the stories were told. And remember that if you go back, most of us, or most humanoids now, only live to 100 and something years old. So when you think about 6,000 years ago, sounds like a very long time. But it was done through many, many methods of putting the spell of Kingu or Leviathan over us. And we're going to do some videos going more into the spell of Leviathan, which is, taken off of this scroll 666, Leviathan, the beast, all right, as the Antichrist, because this is where those Luciferians implemented many, many ways, and religion is just one of those tools that was used to put you to sleep and to make you forget of who you really are. All right, so that's to answer that question. We're talking about the last 6,000 years from 4004 BCE to the year 2000. And I hope that answers your question.